Hello, my dear students. So, today we will be starting with a new chapter, Transport in Animals and Plants. So, in this chapter, what we are going to learn, basically, this chapter actually deals with the process of circulatory system and excretory system. So, today we will be discussing a little bit on introduction on circulatory system, and we will be discussing on components and function of blood. So, let's proceed. Now, in general, what do we mean by the term transport? Transport, it generally means what? To carry things from one place to another, isn't it? In general term, the transport means to carry things from one place to another. Okay, but in biology, since this chapter deals with biology, okay, so in biology, what does this term transport specify? The transport specifies a life process, okay, where a material is absorbed or made in one part of the body of an organism and it is carried to other parts in its body, right? So we can say we have learned earlier that what all living organism, that is either plants or animals, they need a continuous supply of different materials such as you can say food, water and oxygen for their survival. Okay, in our last chapter, in the chapter respiration, what we have read that in the process of assimilation, okay, it is a part of our process of metabolism. In the process of assimilation, what happens, the food, it is transported to all the cells, okay, where in presence of oxygen the food is broken down to form what? To form carbon dioxide, water and energy, right? Now that energy, it is required for our life processes, or you can say for doing any kind of work, right? So similarly, this food and water, it needs to be transported from one place to another, right? So who performs this thing? Blood. Okay, we will be reading in details about blood, okay, but now I want to make you clear about what? About the process of transport, right? Now these materials, like you can say food, water or oxygen, they must reach the various part of an organism where basically they are needed. Okay, on the other hand, you can say that the living organism, they also produce some waste material. Okay, what is the main waste material of our body? It is urea. Okay, how the urea is formed and all we will discuss when I'll discuss about excretory system in detail. Okay, other than that, carbon dioxide is produced as a result of respiration. Now that carbon dioxide, it does not remain inside the cell, okay, it is taken to the lungs and then it is expelled out. Okay, so some medium is there which is carrying this carbon dioxide from the cells towards the lungs, isn't it? So this medium, it is done by what? By the process of transportation, right? So we all know that the waste materials which are produced, okay, they are harmful for our body and they have to be removed from our body, right? So you can say it is necessary that all living organisms have some means of transport for carrying materials from one part to another part within our body, whether it can be food, water or the waste material, or you can say oxygen. Okay, so what we can say that all the living organism, they need a transport system to supply them with food, water and oxygen, and to carry away the harmful waste products produced in their bodies, right? So both animals and plants, they have their own transport system for transporting materials within their body. Okay, so basically in this chapter, what we are going to learn, we will learn about the transport system in animals and plant. Okay, now in most of the animals, okay, the blood that circulates in the body transport food, water and oxygen to cells in all parts of their body, right? The blood, they also transports what? The waste material which is made in the body cells to different part of the body for excretion. Okay, so basically now we will start with the process of human circulatory system. Okay, now the main transport system in human being is what? It is blood circulatory system, or you can say just circulatory system, right? Now in circulatory system, what happens? The blood, the red colored fluid, we will discuss about blood later. Okay, this blood, what happens? It carries food, water, food means digested food, water and oxygen to all parts of the body. Now digested food, it is also indispensable for the body in order to get energy. Oxygen, it is indispensable for our body in order to break down the food, because oxygen, it supports what? It supports combustion, right? And respiration, it is a type of combustion at ordinary temperature. Okay, and another thing, that is Water it is also essential in our body for various metabolic purposes, or you can say for the process of excretion, right? Now it also takes away what? The waste material like carbon dioxide that is made in the body cell. Other than carbon dioxide, it also carries what? It also carries urea. As I said you that urea I'll discuss when I'll discuss in details about human excretory system. Okay, so the main function of this blood circulatory system is what? To take food, water and oxygen available to every part of the body, and also helping in removing the waste materials of the body like carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, what are the main organs involved in this human circulatory system? The main organs involved in this circulatory system is number 1 is heart and number 2 blood vessel. Okay, now blood vessel, 3 types of blood vessels are there. What are the 3 types of blood vessel? Number 1 is what? Number 1 is artery, number 2 vein, number 3 capillaries. Okay, so you can say now these are the organs, that is heart and blood vessels are organ. Okay, but the human circulatory system in general, it consists of heart, blood vessels and blood, right? This blood, it is actually the medium of transport. Like you can say like a vehicle, it acts as a vehicle, right? Like when you want to move from one place to another, okay, suppose you want to move from one particular city to another particular city, isn't it? In that case you have to avail a transport, whether it is a bus, train or aeroplane, isn't it? So blood, it is what? It is actually the vehicle of our body, right? It carries what? It carries food, oxygen and water, and also the waste material, right? So next what we will be discussing, we will now describe all the part of the circulatory system, and first we will be discussing about what? We will be discussing about blood, that is the vehicle, okay, of our body, right? So here you can see this is the heart. You all know where our heart is located. I'll discuss about heart in our next class. Heart basically it is located in our chest cavity and it is slightly tilted to our left lungs. Okay. So heart is there, okay, as I said you, that is the important organ of human circulatory system. Then blood vessels, 3 kinds of blood vessels are there, arteries, veins and capillaries, okay, and the medium of transport is what? Is the blood. So next we will be discussing about what? Blood. So what is blood? What is the definition of blood? Blood, it is a red colored liquid which flows in blood vessels and circulates in our body. Blood vessels are what? Blood vessels are the path, the roads, okay, the vehicles, they move through a road, isn't it? Similarly, this blood, it flows through the blood vessels and it circulates in our body. These blood vessels are nothing but the road of our body, the pathway of our body, right? Now blood, the color of our blood is what? It is red. Why it is red? Because it contains what? It contains a red pigment called hemoglobin. I hope all of you have heard this term hemoglobin earlier, right? Now this hemoglobin, it is made up of which mineral? Hemoglobin, it is made up of iron, okay. Now blood, it has got many cells, okay, which perform different function, okay. So generally blood, it consists of 4 components. Okay, blood consists of 4 components. What are that? Number 1, plasma, the fluid part of our blood is plasma. Number 2 is red blood cell. Number 3, white blood cell, and number 4, platelets. Basically blood consists of 2 things, that is plasma and corpuscle. Corpuscles are cells, you can say, right? Now these cells are again divided into 3 types, that is red blood cell, white blood cell and platelets, right? Now this plasma, as I said you, it is a liquid, and red blood cell, white blood cell and platelets, they float in the plasma, okay. So what is the proper definition of blood? We can say now, blood, it is a liquid called plasma with red cells, white cells and platelets floating in it. Now what we are going to describe, we will be describing now all the 4 components of their blood and their function in details. So coming with the first component, that is plasma, okay. Plasma, it is a liquid part of our blood, right? What is the color of plasma? It is a pale yellow sticky liquid. Okay, like I think you all have seen plasma. Suppose sometimes the technician, when they collect the blood for any kind of blood test, okay, via the syringe, okay, all of you will find that if you just keep the blood for some time, what you will find a pale liquid color. Okay, what happens? It floats at the top. Okay, that pale yellow colored liquid is nothing but the plasma, right? 92% of the blood, it consists of plasma. Okay, like for example, if you take 100 ml of blood in a test tube, out of that 92 ml is what? 92 ml is plasma. Okay, and remaining 8% or 8 ml, that is what? That are the cells, that is red blood cell, white blood cell and platelets. Okay, now this plasma, what does it consist of? It consists of 90% water, as I said you, the texture is liquid, and 3.5% it is common salt. Okay, now plasma, it contains what? It contains the dissolved substances, that is digested food and waste product. Okay, so what is the main function of plasma? This is the most important thing. What is the main function of plasma? Plasma, it carries water and dissolved substances like digested food and waste material from one part of the body to another part. Okay, and the red blood cell, white blood cell and platelets, they are immersed in this liquid. Okay, they keep floating in this liquid, right? Okay, basically the food after assimilation, okay, after the process of assimilation, when the food, it is taken to all the cells, okay, generally the blood, it carries the food. Okay, now which part of the blood it carries the food? Plasma. Okay, the simplest component of the food, that is glucose, amino acid and fatty acids, right? Now next thing is what? Next thing is red blood cell or RBC. Right, now red blood cells, they are what? They are red in color. Why they are red in color? Due to the presence of a red pigment called hemoglobin. Right, now these RBC, it has got a lifespan of 120 days. Each RBC has a lifespan of 120 days, and this is the only cell which does not contain nucleus in it, that is, it is a non-nucleated cell. Okay, now red blood cell, they are what? They are the carriers of oxygen. Okay, basically red blood cell, what is its function? It to carry oxygen from lungs to all the cells of the body. Right, now it is actually the hemoglobin which is present in the red blood cell that carries oxygen in the body. Right, how come? Hemoglobin, it binds with oxygen and transport it to all parts of the body and ultimately to all the cells. Right, now suppose if there is a deficiency of iron, then hemoglobin is not formed properly. Okay, then it becomes what? It becomes difficult to provide oxygen efficiently to all the cells of the body. Okay, so in that case, a person, they can feel with oxygen deficiency. Okay, so it is due to the presence of this hemoglobin, the blood, it appears what? It appears red. Okay, next comes what? Next comes white blood cell or RBC. Okay, white blood cell, it fights infection and protects us from diseases. Okay, why? Because white blood cell, it helps to fight against germ or the bacteria, or you can say any kind of foreign particles, okay, which may enter in our body and it can cause disease. Okay, now some white blood cell, what happens? They engulfs the bacteria, okay, and they kill. Okay, whereas some white blood cell, what happens? They produce certain chemical known as what? Known as antibody. Okay, that antibody, what happens? It fights with the antigen and it kills the antigen. Antigens are nothing but the harmful foreign particles. Okay, that is, you can say nowadays we are suffering from the pandemic coronavirus, isn't it? Coronavirus, it itself, it is an antigen. Okay, so whenever this any kind of virus or bacteria, whatever, it enters inside our body, what happens? Our blood, it produces, the white blood cells, it produces what? It produces antibodies as a defense. Okay, what happens? This antibody, it kills that particular antigen. Okay, later on when we will be discussing about the process of immunity, then you will come to know about this white blood cell, the function of white blood cell in details. Okay, next is what? Next is platelets. Okay, now platelets are what? Platelets, these are a type of blood cell, okay, that helps in the clotting of blood in a cut or wound. Suppose if you have got any cut or wound in your body, what happens? The blood, it flows for some time, isn't it? After some time, what you will find? You will find that the bleeding stops. Actually, how come the bleeding stops? The platelet which are present in the plasma of the blood, okay, it clot the blood, that is, it makes the blood semi solid, okay, due to which what happens? Further bleeding stops. Okay, then what you will find? You will find that the blood, it has turned what? It has turned dark red. Okay, so this blood clot, it is formed due to the presence of the cell called what? Called platelets in the blood. Okay, so suppose if there are no platelets in the blood, okay, then what happens? The bleeding caused by a cut from an injury would not stop. Okay, so this can lose too much of the blood from the body of a person, that leads to death. Okay, now there is a disease called dengue, isn't it? I hope all of you have heard this term, dengue. It is caused by what? It is caused by a pathogen which is carried by the mosquito. Okay, now what happens in this dengue? What happens? Actually, the platelet count, it reduces. Okay, that is why now in case of a person, if the platelet, it goes too low, okay, then in that case, if they have got any kind of internal injury, then what happens? There are too much of blood loss which leads to the death of a person. Okay, so this is all about in details about plasma, red blood cell and white blood cell. Next we will be discussing in brief about the functions of blood. Number 1, already I have said, blood, it carries digested food from small intestine to all parts of the body, because in small intestine the absorption takes place. Number 2, blood, it carries water to all the parts of the body. Number 3, blood, it carries oxygen from lungs to different parts of the body. Number 4, blood carries carbon dioxide from body cells to the lungs for breathing out. Number 5, as I said you, the most important waste product, that is urea. It carries the urea from liver to the kidney, and finally it gets excreted along with our urine. Okay, and blood, it protects the body from diseases. That is, which component of the blood specifically it performs this function? The white blood cell. Okay, it kills all the bacteria and other germs that cause the diseases. Okay. So today we have discussed about a little bit on a human circulatory system and the components and function of blood. In our next class we will be discussing about what? We will be discussing about heart. Till then, thank you everyone.